Everybody's eating.
Very nice, Anders. He was watching Coach Nalutza and eating his breakfast in a comment in Web
Nice.
Talk. Or cooking breakfast, I think he said. All right, spotlight post is ready. Here we go.
Oh, damn it. I guess I shouldn't have said that. We're on live.
Well, then I need to take back a few things then, I guess, huh? During the years.
Oh man. All right. So I'm gonna post this. Yeah, it's gonna get us eaten. Everything. Okay. All right, let's get this thing going. So we are live in Web Talk right now. Anders, is it Hasselroth? Unmute yourself. Anders, we can't hear you. Still can't hear. Can you hear him, Tim?
No, cannot.
I can't hear you.
Hmm. And his microphone's on.
Maybe try unplugging the headphones for a second. There you go. I think I can hear you now. Say something.
All right.
There we go.
I use the webcam. It's built into my monitor. There's also a microphone on the top of the monitor here.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
It's Friday here. Asia at least.
So it's nice and early for you, yeah?
Yeah. But not as early as in Thailand.
Right, right. Well, Tim never sleeps, so I never ask him if you know what time it is.
Yeah. Check this.
Oh.
Maybe
So,
I can
yeah. Thumb's not working.
Yeah, now I hear you better.
Oh, there you go. There you go.
Okay.
Now I can hear you too.
Yes.
All right. So, we're gonna do a little interview here. Not really an interview, just more like a conversation. Anders has asked to get on and do a little live and chit chat and kind of. I guess for myself, I just want to know all the different things that you are involved in, and you know, kind of hear a little bit about you know all the things that you are doing. And also just kind of what you know, kind of your ideas, I guess, as how you think Web Talk can support all those things. Because what I think is great about this is that people keep listening and keep hearing that everything can be supported by Web Talk, but I think a lot of people are still stuck in the, only teacher and student kind of ideal. And so if there's, some things that are doing and stuff, and it would be kind of cool to show people that, everything is it's just everything is connected. Like Web Talk can do anything for anybody, and whatever kind of endeavor that they have. So I guess just a little bit of information about you and what you're involved in and your company and everything else. Tell us what's going on.
Oh yeah, my pleasure. I'm glad to be here. It feels like everything I've done up until now, I'm almost 52, it's 1 week left. It has led to this very moment, I'd say. Being in the right place, the right time with the right people. So that's how you make things happen. You connect
Right.
with the right people. So if I present myself to people who watch this on Web Talk Now live or later or on YouTube or in the future, the conventional way would be say I'm a Swedish guy, entrepreneur, filmmaker, moved from Sweden to the Philippines 1 year ago. But that's more like a conventional way to express. It doesn't really tell about myself a lot. So I made this little piece, you see this, to more visualize what I'm all about and who I am and what makes me tick. So look, I can say I wrote this also in my bio, in my profile here on WebTalk. I'm a curious, creative, impact-driven freedom lover. That's the letters. So if I explain that further, curious, it has to do with exploring, travel, learning new skills, stuff, raising my own awareness and others. So here we have the teaching. Create, I'm used to creating whatever I feel needs to be created, starting with my thoughts, my emotions, my actions, my contacts, and all of these which we're talking about, like projects, businesses, organizations, concepts. And that's where I thrive. I really love it. I can't really just do tedious tasks year after year as most do, The grind. Impact driven, ambitious, visionary, goals, and changing the world for the better. Freedom lover, self-explanatory, I guess. I don't want to be stuck in here. This is two-dimensional now, but this square represents the box, the dreaded box. So everyone's saying it's like a cliche. You have to think outside of the box. So this is where I want to operate, the high level. And this is actually a sphere. So we expand this more. We explore more here, learn more, create more, larger impact, which leads to more freedom. And Web Talk and RJ's vision, it's very in line with this. And also what you're doing here with the IEG. So yeah, I guess we can refer back to this in the future. That's the lunatic from Sweden who had some letters on a piece of whiteboard. Well, I think many should, perhaps in my future lives, I will maybe show this and ask people, because many feel stuck here in the box. The grind, the rat race, the deferred lifestyle of the West and other countries, trying to escape. And yeah, so I've been collaborating with a lot of people in the culture sector, artists, filmmakers, photographers, actors, and such people. And they are seldom entrepreneurs. So I've been trying to be the missing link often. They're frustrated. Maybe working in a factory and feel like they're going crazy because they just want to do their thing. And that's also in my tagline in my profile. Do your thing until you die. So that leads back to Web Talk, RJ's vision. It felt like it just fell into my lap. I think that's what Teacher Chris said in another live also. That he's been waiting for this all of his life. To be, he's broadcasting his passion, connecting with new people. And yes, I've been making some posts and also comments, as you noticed, especially now, the last few weeks. And to show people a bit what I can hopefully contribute with. And I think a lot of ideas are circulating. Like English, wonderful. And growing with rocks, it's amazing. And a lot of other stuff. The ministries, orphanages, schools, churches, NGOs. And there comes the Web Talk Foundation in the future. Have that in mind as well. So I guess we could make a list. I wrote down some things here that you can control this. You're very used to this. I've been on Zoom maybe 4 times my entire life. And I'm excited. Looking forward to collaborating with you.
Yeah. I think that one of the things that, just one of the simple things that just kind of was very cool to see is just the commenting and adding timestamps. It's just a very simple idea, but none of us had even thought of that. And then all of a sudden, you see a video and there's a timestamp, and it just was kind of like, oh, you know what? Everybody should be doing this. So that it makes it a little bit more clear. And, it's funny because a lot of people will say, well, your videos are too long. They need to be short. They need to, they need to be very focused and stuff. And yeah, I agree with that a little bit. But then I also just think that, with these kind of Zoom meetings and stuff, everybody's just sharing ideas and giving information. And, you can't get all that in a 5-minute video. You can't show people stuff in a 5-minute video. It needs to be more of a conversation and stuff. So I like your introduction. I like the idea of thinking outside the box. I think the people that really truly understand Web Talk are those kind of people, the ones that are thinking so far out of the box, and looking and understanding what kind of power this platform has, and just how big it really can be when you do put this together, and people start using it even more. What are some of the businesses that you're involved in, or that I believe that you are, you have some businesses of your own. Is that correct?
Actually, I left that.
Oh, okay.
So I shut down my own business, and the vegan food company, which I helped a friend with, he's shutting it down. Also, he felt stuck, too much pressure, or also mundane tasks dealing with all that. So he was shifting into something completely different. We don't know, but I want to work more on the non-profit. Web Talk can support me easily once I get a bit more started. I only need a few $100s a month here in the Philippines. So, and the rest goes to impacting the world. Here we have my tiny globe. And I was happy to hear from RJ recently that he see it as a high priority to save the planet. We only have one. So, many are very concerned and worried, depressed, and even take their lives because of the exploitation of the natural resources. And yeah, watched an entire Antonina live yesterday. They were talking about garbage and plastic, and yeah, it's good. Planting some ideas. And for several years, I've been looking for the best solutions around the world for various problems when it comes to the environment.
Mm-hmm.
And with this environment, with WebTalk and IAG, we can spread them, the solutions, we can finance the solutions and find the right people to execute. So impact often comes with, we have the facts, we have the ideas, and then we share them. So leaders like yourself are creating leaders all over the world, and they create leaders, and then it can happen.
Yeah.
We don't have to wait for the income. We just do it and conceptualize and share the results. IEG Showcase. I saw the tag today. That's good. And I think people who are at this phase of the development of WebTalk and IEG, they can position themselves to be really super influencers and leaders of their fields.
Yeah, I totally agree with that. Give me 1 second. I'm gonna mute and turn off my video for just 1 second. I'll be right back on. If you want to keep talking, go ahead. I'm still listening.
Yeah, I see many examples. The minute I got into WebTalk, and then okay, I had to follow people, so I searched like photographer, videographer, sustainability, and I also check people's profiles. They have their interests. And I say, okay, there's someone who is in one profession, but his interests are completely different. Maybe that's the person who wants to escape the rat race. And we can connect with such people. And some will be attracted to perhaps come on here and see, yeah, people share their visions and dreams and what they really want to do. And the question I often ask people I meet in real life, and like, what would you do if money was not an issue? How would you spend your day? The classic, you see they light up and there's something there to mentor and coach. So many of my friends, they are music, they want to be rock stars and tour the world and stuff. And then, okay, now I have a family, so I guess I just keep my boring job or maybe compromise and play sometimes music in a weekend in a bar or something. But some get depressed, some can compromise. We have to take responsibility in all aspects of our lives. Not take off in the middle of the night, like that guy did 2,600 years ago, which Chitty was talking about. So, yeah, there will be so many people on WebTalk. And we will not be able to be the algorithm. So they're, yeah, scaling, duplicating efforts. That's interesting. And I got inspired by David Anderson, who came live a couple of days ago, doing 2 jobs while creating a ministry in 5 countries in his spare time. And then sitting down for a couple of hours and getting this creative flow with 400 content ideas. Like, wow. He's really onto something. Because that's what I've been talking to about. People in Facebook, hey, I want to do this, donate money to me. Hey, I can help you make money instead. Join me on Facebook and I mentor you. Like, and they're a bit stuck. But that's a process. I guess there will be a tipping point, maybe 1, 2 years from now, 3 years. Well, the people will just see that, okay, not all my friends are on Facebook anymore. Maybe I should try that. At least it's free. I can check it out. Yeah. So this has to be experienced to really be appreciated. Just, yeah, not many trolls. I mean, as you told in other lives, that the algorithm, it's so silly in like Facebook. You don't choose who you connect with, talk to, and the flow of scrolling down there. Yeah, I guess I lost the thread there. Anyhow, we're just starting. You have been doing this for years and years. Kudos.
Yeah.
Very, very good.
Yeah, we've been doing it since I would say like late 2017 into 2018. So I would say almost 4 years, 3.5, 4 years of being part of Web Talk. But literally the things that you're saying right now, that you go, okay, the reason I like Web Talk is because it gives you that, gives everybody that opportunity to do the thing that they're passionate about. And that's so true. I talk to teachers a lot, and they say, well, what kind of curriculum are we going to have to do if we do IHE? How many hours are we going to have to spend on doing this to make money in IHE? What are we going to have to? And I say, what do I have to teach? And I said, only what you want to teach. What's the thing that you actually want to teach? Because we all teach and enjoy it and be teachers, but so much of the curriculum you're just doing because you were told to do it, not because it's something that you're passionate about. And it's a concept that is not very accepted, because people have been conditioned to do, like you say, that job. That's my job, I'll just do it. And they don't think about, well, what do you want to do that makes you happy, that's your passion, the thing that you desire to do. And when people really think about that, when they really stop and think about, well, what do I really want to do, it's such a different path than what you do on your daily grind.
Yeah.
So I mean, that's that to me is something that is huge with Web Talk, is it's going to give people this opportunity to say, okay, if I put some effort into this, it's going to give me the opportunity to do all the things that I've always thought about doing, but just can't, or don't feel like I can. And so when I saw this, when I saw the potential of this, when I, heard about it, a long time ago, I was like, yeah, this might take a few years to do, but in the aspect of my lifespan, it's going to be a very small amount of time.
Yeah. Yeah, I knew already as a teenager that the grind, it's not for me. It's not, I can't allow that to happen, because I will have a mediocre life and be disappointed. I can't wait till I'm 65 to do the things I want to do. Even if I have good health then, which I don't know if I will have, some things will be too late.
Right.
65, 70, people get older, so they want us to work even more years. I want to work till I'm 100 at least, but not in a job.
Right. Right.
Every day. Yeah. Provide value, inspire. It doesn't feel like a job if I mentor people, work for free. I've done that several years, and then having to find the resourcefulness to make a living while creating a real life instead of an existence. Why settle with merely existing when you can choose to be fully living? It's one of my own quotes. Like, some are a bit offended when I say it, because I know from the studies, like 80%, 85 maybe, don't really like their job. So I'm glad in the sense that many stick to their jobs because we need them.
And because people are fearful that there's nothing else out there. That's a scary, to me, that's just such a wild fear to think that there's no other job in the world that you can have. I mean, I've lived through many a job. I've lived through many of teaching positions, but I've never once felt like if I lost my job that I would be desolate. I know that I can find another job. There's jobs everywhere. But what are you going to find that really makes you happy, that really makes it so that waking up is really not a problem? So many people, I know so many people that every morning, that they just wake up and they don't even want to wake up because they know what they have to do. And I just can't, I can't imagine that kind of feeling. Many friends of mine, they're like, I gotta go back to work today. I gotta get through the day, blah, blah. And I don't get that. I'm like, well, then quit. If that's how it makes you feel, then quit. Oh no, I couldn't do that. That's just too much, too crazy. I don't know if I can get another job. Well, so you'd rather not find out that's where you're going to be, in 40 years, 50 years when you retire, and say to yourself, well, what could I have done? What kind of silly dream can I chase? And I think that's something that people sometimes get fearful of, is chasing their dreams. Like, it's almost like if dream becomes a reality, then what do you do next? And it's like, have another dream. If I stopped every time that an idea or a dream or a thought that I want to kind of do or chase, every time that kind of ended up in a negative way, and I would just stop and never chase another dream in my life, that just it doesn't make sense to me. I think people should be chasing dreams all the time.
Yeah, and we can encourage them. We can also guide them more or less in different ways.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what you've been doing here for years.
Yeah.
I mean, teachers do it all the time, more almost like extra parents in a sense, because parents are very busy with their own jobs and commuting and errands and stuff.
Right.
They're exhausted. Oh, good that they are in school now. Or they do their homework, they sleep. I don't have kids myself, but now I have 5 bonus children here in the Philippines. I don't meet them because of the pandemic, but yeah, I'm sitting here preparing for the future. Looking forward to it. Focusing on getting things done here. And that was the main reason for me to leave Sweden, actually, because I was always being pulled in different directions. And when we worked with the film company, it was super successful. Everything, all the content we made went viral, even commercials and infomercials and music videos, TV series, everything. So that was the reason clients could pay sponsorships and productions. But I felt, okay, this is fun. I'm doing this with friends. It doesn't feel like a job, even if it's up to 19 hours in a day. Bad pay, even with a national TV budget. So, been there, done that. I'm leaving now. And I just post a bit about their new, when I have something new content to share. We'll see. One day they will be here. All of them.
So what are some of the things that you are doing right now?
Right now, or actually before the pandemic, I was here 8 weeks with a friend, traveling this region, enjoying, shooting YouTube video content, travel related, and at the same time researched, because I want to help out I feel more welcome in the Philippines than anywhere I've ever been. Been to about 35 countries this far. And they have, yeah, very nice people. And I see problems and solutions about different aspects of the environment, nature, garbage, energy, stuff like that. So also try and connect with filmmakers. I intend to have an international film center here. And I wanted, before I have found out about IEG and WebTalk, I planned, okay, I will go more to documentary filmmaking instead of fiction and entertainment, showbiz, because it can be more meaningful. Producing and co-producing documentaries and such. But then again, now, yeah, I can still have use for a studio to do web talk live with in real time with real people after the pandemic, with the cameras, light, action, and studio hosts, more like Oprah Winfrey, sort of. That could be a good vision. And people from all over the world, web talkers, they go, okay, who's next? Get on the stage now, and then we roll 24/7. Someone's going back to sleep in the guest houses, and the next guests or hosts are coming on board. Perhaps IEG Philippines.
What a cool documentary of IEG travel worldwide.
Yeah.
What an amazing show that will be at some point.
Now we are in prime time London, 9 p.m. Soon we're prime time Stockholm, Berlin. And this is fascinating. We're sitting here in 3 different countries.
Yeah.
I don't know about the viewership, but we're talking to the world.
Well, I mean, there's already people commenting on it. There's already people looking at it. Yeah, London's talking right now.
Oh. Is that Rosemary?
Yeah.
She doesn't seem to sleep.
No. No, she does not.
All right. She was up late and she was up early, maybe all night. I noticed.
I know that you had talked about, I think it was you that was talking about a company that wants to build Wi-Fi or introduce internet. Am I correct with that?
Yeah, there are 2 major telecom companies here in the Philippines, covering this 110 million people, and internet is quite bad compared to Western standards, but it's getting better. And now the third company, it's a major one. It's 60% Philippines, 40% Chinese, now expanding. So they will cover, I think, 35% of the Philippines. For me, that's a good thing. It will, as you maybe saw, they built new towers here. And my girlfriend helped them a bit with the planning and the contracts and contacting land owners. So they lease land for 25 years or so. So they will start with 4G in March, 5G next year. And I guess the competitors are also upgrading their towers. So it's exciting. I mean, I've always been at the forefront of high tech. We are all engineers in my family except for my mother. So my dad used to invent stuff and repair, and wow, that inspired me. So yeah, it would be cool to be able to repair and build stuff. But I never pursued that career because I started making computer games and then film and stuff, more the artsy stuff than the tech. But I've always been willing to experiment, be an early adopter with cameras, computers, and telephones and such stuff. Nerdy. But I always had in mind, like, what if I could, like 1995, I was in film school and we had an editing computer. It was like $50,000, which is maybe like 150,000 now. The first in Europe. Like, wow, I get to sit there 24/7 at school and use this computer. In the future, I want to travel the world and have an editing computer in my backpack, like a laptop. So I've been waiting for this. And now yeah, sort of, it's everyone can do it. Travel the world, make videos, post on YouTube, soon on Web Talk, but they don't get paid there unless they have a large following.
Right.
So that's a revolution. Freedom, explore, and at the same time, produce something which is influencing others. I mean, many young, like in the 20 or teenagers, they want to be bloggers, travel the world, and not have a real job.
Isn't that kind of funny though, to think that to travel, to blog, and to get paid for it is not considered a real job, but to spend 50 years digging a ditch or flipping burgers or you know, punching in code day after day after day, that's a real job. You know, that's what's always so interesting to me is the idea of, you know, there's kind of this generation of people that's starting to get away from the regular job. And you know, what can you do? There's so many opportunities in the world right now, so many opportunities, and those opportunities can be reached and met by the thing that you hold in your hand, a phone.
Yeah. And the excuse for many is, okay, I stay here because it's kind of safe. Because if I try to make money there, I will get scammed. So it's best if I stay here. It's just, yeah. But here we don't have to, our friends don't have to pay money if they don't want to. But they will. As teacher Tim is saying, everyone will upgrade.
Yeah, yeah. Well, and that's the part that that's coming, you know, and that's the thing that is, you know, when you start looking at your, you know, in past months, like let's say 4 people paid for a pro package. I just don't believe that if you paid for a pro package and you're one of the first million that you'll ever stop paying for a pro package. I really don't believe that if you, when the million is over, that people are going to stop paying for pro packages, even at the you know, at a one level, at the free level. At some point at the free level will be a you know, you're going to pay for a pro package. And you're not going to get the 5 levels because that's going to be long gone. I still think people will see the value of the pro package even with 1 level. And then you start thinking about that when all those people start doing that in your 5 levels or in your first level, every month, it's just going to be an automatic renew. Just every month, there's going to be people that have already purchased this pro package, and they're not even going to think twice about you know, that charge coming in a year. And I've had people ask me, say, well, you know, I don't know if I should do another, you know, year. It's only, you know, it's $200. I don't really have that. I'm like, why weren't you planning ahead for this? Do you not understand what you have sitting in your hand, just being offered to you? It is. If you can think back far enough to when Facebook started and how people thought about Facebook and how they thought that, oh, you know, it's never going to go. We've already got social media, and now this is where it's at. This is the place where it's at, and they haven't paid anybody yet. Paid a couple people, but they haven't paid the masses. They haven't paid every user. I just don't see how, and this is something that when I kind of first started, I was just like, if you don't know what social media is making, then that's a huge step. You need to go find that out, because if you take half of any social media, what they're making per month right now, and say, I could have a piece of that. If I work hard, I can get a little bit more. If I post more, if I do more, blah, 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 and I could get a piece of that. Even a 0.0001% of a $3 billion a month paycheck, it's still going to help you out.
Yeah. And then if people earn enough so they don't really have to work and they have 24 hours to spend, then we have a lot of options for them. I mean, meaningful activities, such as teaching for free or helping poor orphans, or there's a lot of stuff. Picking plastic in Hua Hin on the beach. Right.
Yeah, so much more time to do better things for other people. I think that's always very interesting that people, they always talk about they want to be charitable and they always want to help, but then it always comes down to but where's the time to do that? Where's the monetary support to do that? And you can kind of do both in Web Talk and still not spend any money. That's the thing that I think is so cool about this, is all these things that people are wanting to do, it's being funded by the thing that they're using. And so the more you use it, the more you're going to get funded, and the more you get funded, the more you want to tell people or use it even more. It was funny because I was talking to my neighbor, and he's a college kid, and he started college and then boom, they had to go home because of COVID, and he's just been kind of hanging out at the home and stuff, because he just doesn't have anything to do because the online just doesn't work for him. Well, I was talking to him and he said, I've kind of taken a different kind of look at what I'm doing. I really want to start getting into photography. And I said, great. How are you going to fund that? It's like, well, I'm trying to get gigs. I'm trying to get, some bookings of, some things to do, take pictures of or whatever. And I said, wouldn't it be nice to get paid just to show people pictures and not get paid because you're trying to get people to pay you to take pictures? And he said, yeah, I mean, that would be great. I said, well, I've got the platform for you. Because what's beautiful about this platform is the people that are the business people, the people that are trying to do their passion, they don't have to sell anything anymore. They don't have to try to get someone to buy their product. They just need people to talk about it and interact with it. I mean, it's these lives. These lives, what are we doing? We're sitting around having a conversation. And while in real time, you're watching the views go up, 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 up.
Yeah. And we can brainstorm and share ideas. We don't have to keep them secret.
No.
We're not creating business models to patent and keep everyone out. But on the contrary, we want to share it. If we can have hundreds or thousands of small businesses all over the world in a coordinated way, in a way that suits their circumstances best. Yeah, a cafe, they can get a competitive edge, unfair advantage by earning money from WebTalk, while their competitors just have to earn from the customers. So right. I see that. When I was a marketing consultant, I would I've been happy to say, hey, what's your profit margin? You earn 100K per year, you have 10%. Okay, so you need 10K profit. What if you get 5K from here and 5K from your business? Wow, then I can change my profit margin and my competitors will have big problems. Just an example.
Well,
Or
and
they-
then the other part of it is what a great business to be a part of where 50% of the profits, the earnings, goes to the users.
even the revenue.
There's very few companies that anybody works for that they know that their effort will return them or give them an opportunity to get some of half of what that company makes. I mean, I don't think that there are a whole lot of companies that are handing out half of their revenue to their workers. I mean, you think of like a major grocery store, like we have like Kroger, Safeway. I'm sure you heard of like Publix or something like that. But you think of these grocery stores. Well, they have to be making billions of dollars. But does the guy that bags your groceries get any of that other than a little tiny minuscule salary or paycheck, a monthly paycheck? They don't every month get to look at their dashboard and say, see this big giant pool of money that, all those Dorito chips we sold, I'm going to get a piece of that. It's not going to happen.
And even if it would, their profit margin would be slim compared to a digital company. I mean, WebTalk is investing now up to 10 million, but when it scales, okay, more staff, more servers and stuff, but the profit can be really good in the long run. But of course they will roll out more services, but that will attract more users and advertisers.
Right.
Very scalable. I think I wrote that in a comment somewhere. Like a wholesale food company, the profit margin is maybe 10 to 20% if it's really good. It's the one we went, it was leading. After that, we worked for free the first years, of course.
Right.
I made more than I needed in my regular job. I had one regular real job in my life, and I quit that to help my friend build the company. And he said, first, hey, I have no business experience. I'm a truck driver. Do you want to help me build a 9-figure business? Yeah, sure. When do we start? Because I thought the competitors, they were aiming at the low quality, cheap products. And that didn't impress the customers. So we take the best and we sell them at a low margin and then scale. So he worked full-time, I worked full-time, and then build a business. Just sleeping on the floor in his friend's apartment the first years. So I didn't have to make money for rent. And a lot of tricks. But as a filmmaker, we never have enough budget, so we have to be resourceful. Even if we make a TV series, we are depending on people's support. Like, hey, borrow my car, borrow my house. I can drive my kids there, no problem. It's so fun. They want to be in a TV series. Like, okay, thanks. There's some clothes and so we shoot all of that in our hometown and nearby. Small hometown in the west of Sweden. Instead of Stockholm. There I'll be shooting films there. It's crazy. Like 30 persons in the cast and crew. I was the only one with a driver's license, except for the photographer. So he had to be on set and I do all the errands with the long lines. This is not optimal. So a few decades of filmmaking makes you resourceful. And now there are billions of people. I mean, at least 3 billion people that don't have internet at all.
Right.
So will they go to Facebook once they get internet? Well, they should come here. Because they will have friends in their countries. Like, hey, I'm here. We're 6,000 already in this country. Join my web talk. And then we will collect money. Then we will use money from the profits, from the commissions to your school and our village and that church or whatever. Whoa, that's perfect. And once
Well,
the,
and what's cool about that is the idea that, you know, these places that need Wi-Fi or whatever, at some point they can pay with like the idea of Web Talk credits. So how do I pay with Web Talk credits? Well, I generate revenue, a town can generate revenue, and then they just move those credits wherever they need to be to pay the right people to help them. And, you know, then it's like you're not even using your own money. You're using your time.
and some places they just, okay, we put some solar panels here for this month's commission, some batteries for the next month, and the third month we buy a computer, and the fourth month people can come here and use it. Month 5 we buy a good camera here and take it from there.
Right.
I've been connected with a lot of people in Africa say, hey, we need power. We have like these the machines, backup power for bars and restaurants and like, just to keep the food cool so it doesn't rot.
Right.
Fossil fuel. When they could have like solar power, wind power, other stuff.
Right.
And people are afraid to get out because it's dark everywhere. It's hard for me to imagine if even here in the Philippines, it's much more modern than in many other countries. Okay, there are brownouts and people are fine. But they can cook with wood because everyone knows how to cook with wood and just make a fire outside because that's no problem. But if there is an emergency in a modern country, people are like, what's happening? No power, 2 days, 3 days. Like in Canada, there was this ice storm. Like some people were out of electricity for 2 weeks or so, and very cold. So there, and Katrina, disaster in the leading economy. People were looting, chaos. Because resilience is one thing I want to focus on. It has to also do with the freedom lover thing. To be independent off the grid, but not offline. That's the compromise. I mean, grow food at home. Antonina were talking about it in the live yesterday. Okay. She wants to be prepared if S hits the fan, as you say. Grow food, power, I posted some comments, some ideas, like the Earth ships, totally self-sufficient buildings with gardens inside, sewage system, water cleaning, power, everything. Such concepts. People are not aware of a lot of solutions. But in traditional media, there is just problems, and mayhem. It didn't used to be that way, like 50 years ago. It was more positive news in media in general. I've read. And Audrey is speaking about it also, one of the algorithms and fake news and stuff. It's messing people's heads up.
Right.
Sure. That's why I've been sharing also this work news, my friends, like newspaper site or whatever you call it, media site, with only positive science-based news. And people are like, wow, but it's not that bad in the world once you see what's happening. We can use this and this and this to make it better. It's
And
not look like this.
and Anders, you have Rosemary commenting, answering your question about sleep. She said she sleeps, just not as much, and she time stamped it.
Oh yeah, I saw her name pop out in the corner there.
And that's the beauty of this right now, because it really is viral in Web Talk. We will see that it's shared. Like I did a spotlight post myself, teacher Andy did one, it's being shared, it's being copy and pasted, onto other Magic News feeds. People are commenting, they're listening in Web Talk. And that's the beauty of Rosemary, as you know, Anders. She understands these Web Talk lives. So to give her the shout out as she's listening on her sofa, possibly prime time in England, is look at that. She just commented in Web Talk, and we're here listening to Anders for the first time. And you're aware of her as well. You mentioned her name 30 minutes ago.
Yeah, I'm learning to listen here now, and I memorize. I really enjoy it. I don't mind sitting here 7 hours a day if my internet is sufficient. Yeah. So maybe I'll hop into Facebook. 20 minutes in Facebook? No. I just some friends. That's enough.
Yeah. And what you were posting, ideas about your own situation in your village with the Wi-Fi, sticking, was it your router outside the window in a bag?
Yeah.
I mean, it's just absolutely beautiful how you're posting these things in comments based on your situation.
Yeah. Now here is my phone. USB cable in a plastic bag. It's not raining now. But in the daytime when it's sunny, it's overheating. So I bring it inside. Just hang it there inside of the curtain. But that's just a little tech hack. I mean, if people can get 10% faster internet by doing that, and the neighbors don't steal the phone, that's good. But a small hack. Actually, I started my own company in 2000, 20 years ago. And my first real client was the leading broadband company. So I was promoting them and raising awareness about broadband. It was fiber. And the speed was 10 synchronous. I was like, wow, the upload speed is very important as a filmmaker for content. I want to be able to post videos. Because in 1999, all of the 90s, I worked more voluntarily with our film centers. And we started a web channel, web TV channel in 1999, when there's only one. It was a big IT startup company. They did it in Stockholm. We did it for fun, like project-based education. We had a lot of students shooting video, and we edited, and we put a server, which some computer nerds programmed with a Linux Apache server, put it in a municipality office because they had fiber there, and sent video. But everyone was on a phone modem, so it took 20 minutes to download a song, MP3. And we were doing it. No one was watching all of us because they couldn't. But that's just one example that we had this center we called the project Culture Communication. And we sat down, me and a friend, okay, now we're project managers, we apply for grants. I think we got like $80,000. 24 years ago, it's quite much. tax-free for our film club. And then we bought stuff, resources, editing computer for everyone to use 24/7. Like here's the key, alarm, just go there, create. And we mentored them and had different projects and collaborating with educational institutions and museums and the unemployment agency and the municipality and the business center. So involving everyone in the small town and teaching people about high-tech stuff, which no one did, to be pioneers, like 3D animation with computers, digital special effects, video editing, because no one could buy equipment privately to do that. And we said, when super internet comes, everyone will be having their own channels. We didn't have the term broadband. We called it super internet. And that was financed on the national level because our documentation was supposed to be used for others to learn from the experiences. We have this culture center. And we also financed it by cooperating with businesses, mainly record companies, to make high-end music videos with top pop stars. And that was the only way to be able to rent film cameras, real film cameras, and process like thousands of dollars, and everyone worked for free to learn how to use, to produce content in a high-level professional environment. But that was crazy hours, like, an average 20 hours a day, tight deadlines. And I sort of got a bit fed up with freelancing. Instead of having one boss, you have several, and crazy hours, competitive. But now, WebTalk, as I wrote, Fiverr and Upwork and those will be in trouble in a matter of a few years. Because people will be here with real recommendations and real connections and supported by the community to do their thing. I was thinking as an example about Adele is offering his services, graphics design and such. So that's a good initiative. I'm sure he's genuine and read his wonderful post, and there will be more like him. But I want to support him. And if it's on Fiverr, perhaps if he sets aside 2 hours per week to work for free for web talkers, and then he gets recommendations, so he can maybe raise his price on Fiverr and stuff, and then maybe make more hours for free. And in the end, he is earning enough, so he doesn't have to get paid per hour. Just get paid from web talk. And I was also thinking that if I'm gonna freelance or work for free, I want to be able to choose. Do I want to work for free for McDonald's? No. Do I want to work for free for this guy who is collecting garbage in Cambodia? Well, I'd rather. So I think as I wrote somewhere, I've been thinking about this almost 20 years to be sort of a foundation, but not formally. So people can apply. There are five people or companies or NGOs. Hey, we want your video editing services. Yeah, I can work for free. And then I think this is the most important. This is best for the impact. And they really need this. So I think that will be very good in the long run, meaningful, to be able to choose not only who is advertising on our profiles, but also who we help with our time and our energy once money is not an issue. So I guess there will be a system. like a worker pool, volunteer pool. People with different passions and also compassion. And then it comes the travel aspect, of course. Hey, who wants to travel to Zimbabwe and build a school? Yeah. And we go live. And people fly there. And they're like, okay, it's done. Okay, go to Kenya and build the next school. Yeah. Who's coming? I have to go back to work because I didn't make this much. Okay, fine. Come back when you're ready. I see a lot of openings.
And there's the kicker to it. Someone says their truth. I didn't make enough. I have to go back. All of a sudden, you got 50 web talkers saying, oh, well, how much do you need?
Right.
Oh,
Right.
web talk credits from the 50, because we really loved our time together with you, and especially with the bigger group, and then bloop, 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 everybody in that account. Oh, looks like I'm going to Kenya. I mean, this is the beauty of you, Anders, and Teacher Andy talks to me a lot privately as well as you see these web talk lives. You get web talk, and it's a very rare thing in these beginning stages of this idea of web talk, that a human being will get it.
It's not rocket science. And that's, I said a couple of years ago, I want to liberate as many as I can from the grind with affiliate marketing, because I think, okay, this is location independent income. Okay, people can go wherever they want to and plan their time. Affiliate marketing in general, but it has to be simple. So when I was promoting a funnel builder and these autoresponders and stuff, and it was complex to set up, I could do it, but anyone cannot do it easily. So they give up. And I earned a couple of hundred, but I used thousands of dollars, still recovering financially from that experiment. Okay, fine. Lesson learned, move on. Keep it simple. And people ask me, "What? How much does it cost?" No, I told you it's free. But how can I earn money when it's free? Well, relax, I show you. You just do what you're doing now anyway. I mean, it's wow. I smile a lot when I watch these lives. I'm like, yes. And laugh out loud. I don't think the madman is scary. The madman is challenging, but that's good because we all have to rise to grow. And as part of this, we make this sphere bigger. Somehow. And we will discuss more about these systems, I think, to prepare for the scaling, how to organize, but you have a lot of experience from this. And I can give some input perhaps. Because we were, as I said, we were collaborating with everyone in society, and that's where the magic happens, the greatness. Instead of school, business, cultural institution, I mean, if they cooperate, and then comes the tax authority. Okay, you can make some money by making music videos, but it can't be the main income. No, it's not, because we have the grants and people work for free. And we pay tax on the profits, but we didn't have profits because we bought more equipment for everyone to use. Like a scanner, $2,000. A hard drive, $2,000. That's yeah, resource and scaling. So that was in the 90s.
What were you wanting to talk about as far as when I know you left a message about trying to get involved and do something with COVID-19. What were you thinking about that?
Yeah, I'm not an expert, but most are experts online these days. But it was, I see the value. I mean, if people can get a test and say, okay, I'm negative, I can go visit my parents without them getting sick, then let's go. I don't think there has to be a lot of legal issues, at least not in all countries. But the supplier, he knows about that. Where can it be legally distributed and how? Fast tests. So
I mean,
antigen.
we can get tests anywhere, other than I think that's Canada and Mexico are the two that for some reason we can't, but anywhere else we can get very low priced kits. Fast response, 5 to 15 minutes.
Yeah.
It's available, it's there. It's just, people keep there's so many things of people acting like, you know, some act like there's no need for this, and there is, because we've got to get everyone out of this situation. We got to get to the place that people can actually interact with each other again and travel and be part of the world again, because this is just crazy.
Hey,
What's up?
you want to take the world to the next level with COVID and everything? Guys, great news. Great news. iOS, the app, Web Talk is there.
Oh!
It's there?
It's there, dude.
Whoa! This is history.
It is ready to go. I'm opening it now, man.
Oh, yeah.
We might have to cut this. Let me see here.
There it is.
Oh, yeah.
I'm gonna
Let's
switch
see.
over to computer.
But you said you were not gonna get it.
Well, trust me, we're gonna continue this way on the laptop. I have my iPad, and I just saw someone in Web Talk post in. I'll go over, and how did I see it? Is someone by the name of Sama Ali. He wrote over in a comment of Coach Nalutza's Web Talk Live and said, "Great news. The app is here." So what do? I click, I go over to the guy on Web Talk, and there's a screenshot. So that, see there, look at that. There's a deal right now. Anders, thanks for sharing your word. I really appreciate your help and interact and working with me. Looking forward to collaborate.
That's
You see,
mutual.
exactly. And I go look at the comments of Coach Nalutza's Web Talk Live, and there it is. Very important news. The Web Talk app for iOS has been released.
What about RJ?
And I just click the link. It pops me over to his post, and there's a screenshot in Web Talk. And, how could I not over on an iPad just go get the app? And then, as you know, Anders, look at the beautiful thing about you listening to me talk. Do I need an app? I don't need an app. None of us need an app. We three know that. And now look at what RJ just put into the world, an app. What's that going to do? Fund even more of everything we're creating. Everything you talked about.
And I have people say, I don't have a computer. It's fiddly. Okay, I will join when the app comes. Okay. I'll wait. I will call him today. Now is your time. Wow.
This is beautiful news.
Yeah.
Right there.
Bugs or no bugs, it's here.
Yeah.
We test our links, we do the reviews.
Look at that.
Reminder.
Where are you? Oh, sorry.
Android coming soon. It said in that post from that web
Okay.
talker. iOS now.
Okay, I'm on Android, so I'll wait a little more.
Where's that post?
It's in Coach and Lutz's Web Talk Live. She had a
Oh,
spotlight
okay.
post a few hours ago. Then the comment, Ali, a different Ali than IEG Kosovo, SAMAH, first name. Excuse me there,
Yes.
Teacher Andy and Anders, for interrupting the situation, because actually, the COVID situation is, just that. And it's very nice, Anders, that you actually was listening to that Web Talk Live of a few weeks ago when Teacher Andy wanted to just go live and share the information of how we can solve it. And a lot of people in the world, a lot of governments, a lot of communities, they don't have that protocol in place. And, Thailand is a country that, was very proud of themselves in the beginning, early last year. It didn't hit them as hard. And again, there are many factors involved with that. And so what's happened now? It's here again in Thailand, and it's raging in a few provinces, and it's total lockdown. So we're going to continue, as you know, Anders, on many fronts. And Teacher Andy is that individual that is involved in many fronts with solutions.
And it's good that regular persons and the companies can do something instead of just blaming politicians and governments. Like, hey, you're doing the wrong way. You do it the right way. No, oops, you were wrong. Okay, what can we do? Work from home,
Yes.
or help solve the problem.
Yes.
Yeah. Be safe out there.
Well,
in
that's
the
pretty
world.
cool, man. So you can see it, Tim?
After Anders said, "Oh, I said you said you weren't going to download it, so I didn't log in yet, man."
Okay. No problem. Yes, do your
a lot
thing.
of a lot of respect for you, Anders. That's for sure. Personally, I'm very honored that you took the time to come live through all of your situations with Wi-Fi, all the wisdom you're sharing in the posts about people that might not have as much data and Wi-Fi power, what to do. There's another one in America by the name Rania.
Yeah.
Branye?
Ross, Ranye. Oh, okay, sorry, Ranye. That's the same situation in Gainesville, Florida. He's
Mm.
actually sharing the same type of deals like you are about, you know, um, slowing down the speed of some of these Web Talk lives. He was very proud the other day because he was actually listening to one that was live, talking about his friend Jim Teague over in Sarasota, Florida. You know, they're connected together in Web Talk. He's going to educate. Um, and they're hearing their names in these Web Talk lives. And it has nothing to do, Anders, as you know, about an invitation link as a
Yeah.
team of, something called 5 levels. Teacher Andy explained it just in a crystal clear way 3 years ago on a live Web Talk about Web Talk. And now look, the app is here. That it's a very that's this is historic. And what happens? We have it on a live. It's January 8th, everyone, in Asia with Anders over in the Philippines, Thailand. It's January 8th. It's January 7th over where Teacher Andy is.
Yeah.
2021. And the app is here for most of humanity that knows that word app. Well, what's the excuse going to be now? Because we kept hearing when the app comes, the facts are the facts. RJ would share it. He knows. Many people that are in Web Talk, they feel the facts are true. If you have an app, everybody will be a part of something.
And we follow up with the prospects, as Scott Gerard always says. Follow up. Don't ask them 2 times, ask them 5 times. I mean, it's not like we're spamming them so they can lose money. It's a gift.
It is a gift. What you got, dude? What are you looking at, man?
Looking at Martin's comment, he says January 7th, 2021, app is here.
Oh boy. Hey Anders, I'm gonna go on my iPad and log in, man.
Oh, yeah. Thanks for having me. I respect both of you a lot. I'm honored. Yeah. We're just warming up. I hope I can do this 48 years and 1 week, and then I'm 100. Wow.
Oh yeah.
Well, yeah, you know, it's great being able to, you know, be able to have a little conversation. I know that most of the time when you're responding or stuff, it's just such a you know, a time where, you know, you're either watching it later or whatever, but it's just, you know, there's I feel like there's certain people that truly understand what Web Talk can offer to the masses, can offer to people. And I think that some people only see what it can offer for themselves. And I think that that's the problem, is that they don't take the time to think about, what is this going to do for every single person that I come in contact with? What is this going to do for every single person that uses my link? Or what is this going to do for anybody, you know, anybody that gets involved? I mean, it's just, there's so much to it.
Yeah. Yeah. And we help RJ create more success in the world. Impact.
Yep. Yeah, and I think that his vision is starting to be produced and shown, that what his site is doing is doing that. Martin, if I'm pretty sure Martin's listening to that, if he posted it on there, obviously, but now I'm all sad, Martin.
This is crazy, man. Here it's on the iPad. Look what it looks like.
Yeah.
Ooh.
And right at the top, right when I go in, it's Anders live, you know, and
Oh. I hope they have a lot of powerful servers.
Now hey, is the video, can you hit it and the video is live in there?
Okay, that's great. That's great. Okay, ready? And here it's on the iPad. Look what it looks like.
There it is.
Some lag.
Right at the top, right when I go in, it's Anders.
So where's RJ? RJ needs to come in and say some words. Are we the first one to get a video in the app? We see that someone had a comment, but did anybody else is there live, the first live with that app?
St. Petersburg, Florida.
St. Petersburg, Florida.
Thanks,
There
RJ.
is no way that RJ is going to come in here as they're jumping up and down in celebration mode, probably on the streets with his team. I mean, you got to probably getting calls. How many tags is he getting in Web Talk right now? Hey, thanks to RJ. Oh, he probably did a spotlight post even as we were talking.
But
Who knows?
I haven't seen any spotlight for a while. Because I've been checking because I was expecting a spotlight post before the app came out. I really thought there would be I've been looking for a long time. Oh wait, no, let's see. Nope, the last one was yesterday.
Yeah. And it hasn't crashed.
Not yet.
Look at that expert, dude. Teacher Andy, look at Anders. He's like, oh, it hasn't crashed. You know, everybody like, what? What? What'd you say? Crash?
Right.
Oh.
Wow, that's really cool. That's something. Here's the thing. Here's the thing. Let's just say this right now. You should have been saving up for your upgrade. Because everybody that kept complaining about, oh, the app's not here, oh, the app's not here, oh, well, maybe when I'll do something when the app came. So there you go. The app's here. What's the excuse now? And you just went to the App Store, right?
I did.
Because it's crazy. Because I was talking talking to this a person that I've been talking to for a long time last night, and she said, "Well, when's the app coming out?" I said, I'm hoping this week, but she knows technology and stuff, and I said, you never know. And she's like, and I said, but I told her, I said, look, I want you to see the difference between 5,000 people and the rest of this 1 million that get this upgrade, because it's about what, maybe 5,000 or 6,000 people left in that tier B.
Less, maybe 3,000.
Probably less. That tier, yeah, the other tiers are going to be awesome, but this B tier is insane. I think I'm gonna text her because I'm not gonna let this go.
I think it was a good decision to start with Apple, because maybe there are 10 times more Android users than iPad users or iPhone.
Right.
So they can test now, get feedback. I guess it's like that. Maybe 10 Android users per iOS user. Not sure.
Well, it's time to go give the review.
And then they say, but you don't have a Apple device. Yeah, but I tested it. I saw it live. It works.
Oh, let's see. Any reviews yet? Okay, we're writing a review right now inside.
Yeah, what about the ads? Have they connected to the Google AdMob? Do you see any ads in the app?
That part, yes. Well, let me review for Web Talk. As we're Web Talk Live, we write a review. As RJ said, yeah, see? So, you know, that's one of the things that needs to be written. Oh, yes. The next generation of social media
Networking
has arrived. All right.
History in the making.
Web Talk and connected. Real people creating real relationships based on shared content and wow. I'm not sure I can write a review right now because RJ. You know, Anders RJ quite a few months ago in talk mail to me. Hey, Tim, can you write a little something about one sentence? What you think about Web Talk? What's it done for you? And I was actually live and talking to a web talker, and you know, I had shared my one sentence and he had said something. Well, I was actually looking for blah, 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 blah. And that's where RJ, I'm just a different human being. What I say is in the one sentence is it's simply to raise up humanity. And how do you do that? You listen to them one at a time. And you know, I'm gonna go to it because you know, to have a CEO come and talk mail to different people and asking, you know, to, I mean, you just know right there that this is our platform to create with. I'm gonna go to him and read it. You know, I wrote, you know, he's like, "Hi Tim, would you mind writing a one sentence testimonial about the value you are getting from Web Talk?" I said, "Okay," and I was live, you know, and I just, this is 5 months ago actually. Humanity is rising naturally with Web Talk. Teacher Tim's fact, I wrote. Just like that. He's like, "Thanks. I'm more specifically looking for a testimonial about the product." Okay, so the web talker that I was Web Talk Live shared his testimonial. And this is quotes. I said, okay, and I wrote it in the talk mail, quotes, "Interact with people globally to develop long-lasting relationships to achieve success." That was it, sentence. We are, and I write this, we are Web Talk Live, and I asked this web talker who is new to share his one sentence testimonial. Please accept this because Teacher Tim is simply a true project-based teacher, and the world is simply understanding this today. Not many people understand what I'm actually doing. And as you know, Andrew, I personally don't care. And then what's the opposite of it? To actually care and create. So everything that you're talking, you know, through your beautiful memory of true awareness, you know, the Anders, the one thing that now that I got you is Teacher Andy's doing some things with, I'm sure with the app and stuff, and we'll let him enjoy that, is we're like
No,
kids in a candy store again. Remember Fire Fan, dude?
I'm just texting a bunch of people right now.
That's taking action.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Yeah.
I'm gonna turn off the video and then I'll turn it back on when I get in the car.
Sounds good, man. Sounds good.
I'm listening.
Okay. All right. And Anders, I you know, with me personally, I went to go over to check your Web Talk profile, as you know, quite a while ago, possibly a couple months ago, you know, and you saw me check it and things like that. That's the beauty of Web Talk. And I just scrolled down your timeline and I saw, you know, what, you know, the world is being hit with this kind of you know, system of above, you know, from above, just doing its very best to, you know, put everybody in their little, you know, square, and everything's cool. We'll control them from there. And I just love that. And then to connect with you through the Web Talk Lives as you listen further. And what do I do when I see you commenting? I'm like, Anders, you have a news feed of a lot of the, what you do. Well, welcome to the true New World Order. Welcome to the true educational evolution. And I use the word evolution. A lot of, people in the world will revolt because of their program, and they wake up and they an evolution, as you know, there's many things to humanity. I used to listen to a lot of that stuff 15 years ago that you were sharing on the timeline. That's when I was in the rainforest of the Big Island of Hawaii. First time kind of listening to this more and more, in the hammock, looking out at the rainforest and the Pacific Ocean, and just absorbing it in, knowing that true freedom is right here anyway. How can we kind of get more people to enjoy this, to retire at a young age, live and then retire, and before the retirement, simply, I did the college thing, and the world, as you know, Anders, and this is where it comes with your sphere and in growing and expanding it. Colleges and universities, we're going to create them. We are creating them right now. It's just like with a deal and you connecting now in Web Talk. That's going to be a department that you will create together and creating more success. It begins with the skill of listening, as Adil has shown, as you have shown, to listen to Teacher Andy talk. A very, very high level. I say on lives, he's much higher level than me. Because, see, I've stopped at my mountain. Finished. Mountains can expand and grow, as you know. And his mountain is way higher. He's going to continue up. So I have an opportunity to guide him up his mountain. He shared visions. And as you know, Anders, a lot of people are actually programmed to say from people like quotes that you're on your own here. No one will help you. I know that that's the furthest from the truth. That is not nature's law. Because if you go to sharks, if you go to the smaller fish in the ocean, we're all here for each other. We're not alone. We're not here to walk this alone and feel that no one's listening to us. I have to do my best to do it on my own.
Yeah, and I think people like depressed and like become criminals or whatever because they're not listened to, not taken seriously.
Yeah.
That's,
Yes.
they don't want to be, they don't fit in here, but they don't really know how to get here, where they can grow and build their own mountains, so to speak.
Yes. It's Teacher Andy.
Maybe we should mute him.
He didn't mute his mic, and how can we mute his mic when this is, really this is a long time coming for this next step. The app for humanity's sake, and then now, Anders, it was you were sharing about Wi-Fi in villages, that didn't have. Teacher Andy went to Rissa, I call him Spider-Man Rissa, and from Burkina Faso, He had shared that vision about his, community in Africa. If he could have the funds and figure a way to get them Wi-Fi, then he would be able to actually share what he's experienced with Wi-Fi to meet all these people and create. So when you had shared about the Wi-Fi company that goes into remote villages and builds and things, and then you connect it with what teacher Andy just shared, 40 minutes or so ago, that Web Talk credits would be the opportunity to pay back the people that came to also the community says, oh, well, I really want to be a part of this as well. Can I learn from you? Can I be there? And so what happens? You work together, and then when something happens in the future, it fails or something goes down, you have the community that, oh, I know, I'll be there. I can fix this. So and how do you take care of the so-called company that came in with all of the resources and the people to build it? Well, that's simple now. It's Web Talk credits. It's here we go. Wi-Fi now, you had shared it. The steps, the process.
Yeah, because when I worked for that internet company 20 years ago, it's like, wow, we're pioneers. The people, they didn't know about what fast internet. When they were used to the phone modems and then suddenly go to fiber, it's like your car would suddenly do Mach 5 in comparison. Quantum leap in development. What can you do? How will people interact with fast internet? Okay, we have streaming now. And thanks to streaming and internet, when the cinemas are closed, people can still watch movies and they premiere online. So a pandemic without the internet would have been another ball game.
You think about that. The pandemic without the internet.
Spanish disease.
Yeah, what would have been? And I just picture, as it's more of communities just coming together. You heard me talk, and Anders, we'll go a little bit deeper here, because we're just scratching a little silly surface of what you're doing in the true wellness department. Okay. And what has humanity actually done with their human bodies? They have followed the TV commercials, wherever they are in the world. Companies advertise. Easy. And we always have to remember that ideas from anywhere are always in the beginning meant to make it easier for people. That's always the case. And what is Web Talk? It's an idea. And the real connections, the real relationships being with shared content, with these Web Talk lives. Now we have an opportunity to learn from each other and earn with each other, being a part of this platform. So what happens to the companies that are programming humanity and trying their best to, from that simple idea, whenever it came about, now it's about greed.
Yeah. I said back in 1994, I was reading a school book about ethics and morality. Okay, greed is the main root to all the problems in the world, but it's built into the system, the financial system, the economy. So less greed and more altruism or compassion. Sure. So that's a big challenge. This is the beginning of something new. With sharing economy. I've been looking into those concepts as well. Circular economy, sharing, and it was the normal thing in a village. Okay, I have grapes, you have apples. Now you have apples and I have grapes. Thanks. And people, it says 100 years ago, oh, we have Spanish disease. Don't leave your village. Okay, we don't leave. It's fine. We're fine. Because we don't have 94% import of food. Because we don't, yeah, self-sufficient. I closed my door here because they play rock music 200 meters away, and it's loud. They're really loud.
Wow. Look at that. So early in the morning.
I like it, but it's loud.
Aw. Right now, writing the review as we're talking with Anders, and teacher Andy's behind the scenes now communicating with many web talkers that have gotten in and just waiting. They simply were waiting for the app.
As you see here, people all over the world, the morning sun comes through my window. I try to hold this. Grapes. It's from that window here.
Yeah.
You know what I look like now. The Viking.
The Viking.
The Web Talk Viking.
Yes.
Whoa. The king of Karkar.
And teacher Chris, aware of your posts and his magic news feed and creating some for you and tagging you about the
Nordic Web Talker, Chris.
There it
in
is.
America.
Yes.
I think I wrote something about, my dad said we're heritage, the straight descendants from the Vikings, and he's kind of proud of it. Okay, they did a lot of looting and murdering and stuff, war, but they had to be soldiers, I guess, because it's dangerous to travel the world, explore, to start trading with the world. Now we're trading with the world from the safety of our home. We have web talk. We don't have to go on a ship and be away for a year. We sit here. We don't even have to have a sword. So we use this, and we use this, and the internet. And RJ's wonderful creation. Oh.
Yeah, it's 2021, the year of the web talker. This is it. We just continue to have fun. Anders, my wife is about to head out to go to Bangkok from Hua Hin, as you know where I'm at, and in a couple hours. And with the lockdowns, driving alone, they're going to be stopping her and things. So that's why I was listening for a long period, because really it's your first time here, and I wanted to personally listen to know through the voice, what you're creating. The content in Web Talk is just as powerful, and I have to keep it down a little bit because she's still sleeping over there, that she is the reason why I'm online. She shared her dream, Fila, over 5 years ago to me, and I just listened and researched, as you shared as well. Researched. Okay, what's happening online with education outside of Thailand, and yes.
Curiosity.
Yeah.
And I checked the map. So it's quite a long drive, even if you go straight along the coast to Bangkok. Maybe she has to go around some provinces?
She'll go through with the protocol in place now, with paperwork and stuff. She has all the documentation, why she would be here. This is a condo that she's owned, and say that I'm here and going to go back. This is her business over there in Bangkok, her home, and a couple hour drive. It should be okay. It's just a little bit for her, being alone, and I can't go back with her. As the school, shuts down. I sent a post a couple months ago in another platform where the teachers were about 2 months ago, and it was actually a Bangkok post saying, we should be ready for a second wave and get the children ready in universities with online teaching. We should have a protocol. And Anders, this is what we're creating, even before the pandemic, during it, and we're going to continue after, is we already know how to communicate with people, how to see first if they're okay wherever they are. You have Wi-Fi? Okay, let's go live. Hey, and let's talk a little bit. How you feeling during this time? All right, we'll learn things together. All right, share, express. And so I put that in there, and one of the teachers said, well, Bangkok, Thailand didn't even have a first wave. And this article said a second wave online. And I didn't comment back because they truly don't know what I'm actually involved in. When you listen to people around the world share on the ground in their countries what's happening, then you know.
That is facts.
Yes. It's not from the TV. Hearing the TV talk about China or, Thailand or America. It's actually people on the ground live. And that is extremely empowering to humanity when they can hear these things. So our knowledge is firsthand. That is the next generation of creating success together.
Yeah. We have to empower, encourage, and inspire people. And that's what RJ is doing.
Oh.
And he's going to be sued in the future, I guess. So he will be ready for it, and we're supporting. Because the bigger it gets, the more enemies and competitors are going to attack it.
And this system is a very unique system, as you know. You just shared that so-called competitors are going to try their best to collapse it because they're not stupid. They're going to either die, yes, or they're going to try to evolve. They're going to try to grow with this type of new system, this new economic global system that we both know personally. It's the system that the world is in that is it's a imagination kind of creation killer. It just is. That's a fact. People will hear this and be like, what? Well, I don't understand. I went to school and I did ask some questions, and I did create a project, and I chose my field. In most countries, I chose my field at a university, and now I have this job. And this is my salary. What are you talking about?
Here's my mortgage, my car loan, my debt, my interest to pay. I'm stuck in here.
Yeah.
In the box.
And like you had said, a lot of people will, be angry about that kind of comment, or they'll be confused, or they'll listen. And along the way, when more and more web talkers begin these web talk lives and share based on their passion, and it's going to expand something to show the world that anyone can do this. And especially now with the app, and now more and more people will upgrade. And I loved what you were sharing. That there's two beautiful ways to be a part of web talk, and that's to join it for free. And how do we invest in web talk? We join for free, create content, and advertisers will see it. One more user that's active. And then the other side is you have a couple choices. You can invite, and someone will see the value of a bonus of, well, I'm a free user, I'm a part of the company, and this is another way that you could be a part of the company to get the features faster, is upgrade, subscribe, for a year or a month. And you did that. In no way was when I talk about people, everyone should upgrade. And especially with you, Anders, as I'm live with you now, and how you deleted that one post, and I was right there. It's too beautiful of an idea, Web Talk, to say that you can subscribe, you can upgrade and be a part of a company, and then figure out how it's going to make money, because that's another educational side, as you can see on these Web Talk lives. People don't know, and you have experienced it. Join a platform and I can earn revenue? How? What? No, I can be a free user and earn, and they're confused. They can't, they don't know that they were modern day slaves in Facebook and Twitter. And that's why I kind of laugh at, bring up, Trump, what happened in Twitter and YouTube. They banned them. They deleted stuff. That to me is very, very silly. It's kind of like it's like children playing with each other. Big organizations and someone that says he's a big person or whatever, they're deleting things on each other. And what happens? The people are, oh, I better watch what I say.
Ooh, yeah.
So it's just putting more fear as they play this little silly game of children back and forth with each other. Oh my God, they just deleted the so-called president of a country's. Boy, I better watch myself. Oh, don't forget to follow me on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook. And remember to subscribe to my channel, YouTube. And even the truly democratic platforms, human beings on these platforms, they are in a system, and they don't even know when they say this that they're taking away the true freedom of humanity, because it's just putting people in. Follow me on Facebook. Okay, I will. I love your content. I'm going to be there. And then what happens? It just gets larger. And first, inequality expands, and then true freedom, it disappears, and people can't. It's a system. That's all it is. Very simple. And based on that idea of hundreds and hundreds of years, here comes a new idea. You have done it since the 90s.
Since I was a kid, actually.
Well,
I
yes.
finished high school just to have some kind of base, but I made sure to have low grades, so I wouldn't get a decent job and a mediocre life. No fallback. Okay, my strategy is I do what it takes to be a filmmaker. I figure it out. That's the more entrepreneurial way. You say what you're going to do, you tell the world, and then the third step is figure it out. And now, these days, it's easier. You don't have to have $500,000 to like start a business. You need zero. If you just have internet access and device, especially now, starting today. I know a lot of people, like when I volunteered as a teacher in school here in my hometown, I don't have one computer, not a single computer. The teacher had their own laptop, maybe 10 years old, to just administer the curriculum. What, don't you even have a backup? I bring my hard drive tomorrow, you have to back up your files. Oh, it's okay. We're used to this. I don't think like that. Like, we don't have resources. What do we do? And Antonina was sharing that yesterday. She wants to buy computers for Africa. Yeah, cool.
Yeah.
I wrote some comments and some ideas just
Yes.
to keep that conversation. Others will see it. Yeah, we get computers to Pakistan, okay. But if you don't have electricity in the first place, you can't use it. So I've been discussing that also with the people in Africa and different countries. The infrastructure.
Yes.
Suppliers, grants, financing, researching companies, which are really installing that's kind of infrastructure in villages. So, I mean, the break even, it's quite quick compared to the fuel, the generators, not good for the environment. And they rent them to have light at home. Even the semi-rich, upper middle class, they rent a generator and put fuel in it to get power. So we're all different levels in that sense. And then people who are, I was lucky to be born in Sweden, growing up there in the 70s, 80s, like a jackpot in life. So safe and opportunities. But it seems like many, like the more comfortable life I have, the better it is. But it's, where do we have all the welfare diseases? If a comfortable life is what we are all gonna strive for, buy stuff, own stuff, eat whatever we want, whenever, get sick, obese, and yeah, I'm gonna check that wellness part of this also. Imagine it, Robert Morris, you've been following 10 years. I mean, that's that kind of value that goes beyond points and dollars. Longevity.
Yes. And the beauty of that human being in Sarasota, Florida, and the situation at my first school in Thailand of a teacher from Poland coming to this school where I'm at a couple years, and a new teacher, a backpacker traveling the world. And what does he do when he lands in Thailand? He starts talking numerology to all of these teachers with a big fat book. And he doesn't come to me at all. He sees me talking to the children every day. They're coming to the office. And so he leaves me alone. And what does he do? Instead of showing me the book and, hey, ask me, like I heard him do with the other team, he's like, Teacher Tim, I heard you're the teacher to come to when you have a problem in the classroom. What's the situation? All right, what time? I'll be there. Next thing you know, his mind is blown as I walk into a classroom of grade 6. He can't believe how they were. And what happens after? Tim, thank you so much. I mean, a week later, a month later, they are so next level with me. that they're doing things what I say? And I said, yes. Actually, a couple of the leaders in there, they're informing me that everything's good now. And what does he do? Teacher Tim, I want to share with you some videos that I've come across as in my travels. People share with me. There's a wide variety. Choose what you like, what resonates with you, enjoy. Dr. Robert Morse, man. I sat in my garden with my shoes off and just connect, and I'm listening to this guy talk. And all I did was, all right, here we go. 2 weeks, grapes, lemons, and I collapsed. I went into school. People thought, Tim, are you okay? You look like death. I said, oh, uh, yeah, I'm okay. I'm okay. I got the worst, just constant headache, pain coming here, then coming here the next day. And I go to school and I just wander into the classrooms, and the students were amazing. All of a sudden, you felt their empathy, their compassion towards me, because I just couldn't do anything. My adrenals were for the first time going to figure out themselves. The government of my body was going to, stand on its own. It just needed to release 40 years almost of something that was in my body and playing with my adrenals and tricking them. And all of a sudden I'm just like, just do what you want to do. Draw, look at your book, sleep. Every class did the same thing for quite a few days, until one day, after quite a few fevers as well, and my wife in panic, just take a cloth, and I woke up one day after releasing everything, blood, black, yellow, brown, all different places. It began. So listening to him and then moving through his wisdom, actually experiencing it, that was the game changer for this American body. And so many years later, this is what it's about. This is what it's about for me. And to enjoy my wife when she comes, or her family, like I shared on lives many years ago when I did this, and I began a fruitarian type of world. It was never for me to say to them, oh no, don't eat that cooked food. Oh, don't eat that meat. It'll destroy it. Oh, milk is disgusting. It's one molecule away from plastic. I would not say that to them. They were observing me. Well, years later, the questions started happening. Their own evolution. The mom, the father going down. They would come to now someone that they knew could take care of himself. And they would ask the questions. True project based. And that really is the Dr. Robert Morse story right there. That human being will be in Web Talk one day, and I will hand him over this fan page. And he will earn the money for everything that he's continuing to do.
Priceless.
Yes.
We just have to watch you here with your unlimited energy. Okay, he's onto something. He surely cracked it. So that's well worth looking into. I mean,
yes. And
exercise is maybe 10% of the thing, but nutrition, very important.
Yes. The two questions that Dr. Robert Morse asked me as I was listening were beautiful. Can you name another living species that cooks their food? And the second question was just as simple. Tell me another species that eats 4, 5, 6 different foods at the same time.
Yeah, doesn't happen.
And years later, to have my wife have back pain and then ask questions to me and go on a retreat with her mother, and they figured it out. They went for 3 days and ended up doing a 30-day fruit push with herbs and natural stuff in
Detox.
Thailand as well. We're growing the detox plants now where they squeeze it and they're like, oh, Tim, would you like some? Oh, yeah. Oh, anytime. It's okay. Yeah, I'll take any time you like. This is that evolution there of because Thailand, as you know, the Philippines, I'm sure Thailand is they're still so close to nature, um, cooking their own food together with a family. Many do it, even in Bangkok, they're doing their best. Then you got the villages, the communities that everybody in the world thinks they're poor. Oh, that's the furthest from the truth. They're actually the wisest human beings. They're the most empowering human beings. And that's where that's going to be our reach together. To go into these villages, in these communities, in the countryside with all these web talkers and just listen to the community. What's your vision? What's your idea? Oh, yeah? Wow. Well, let's see what we can do together. Let's collaborate and let's create, listening to them. Not a story with an innovative institute in Thailand where I'm in charge of reforming the educational system in English. A government official came my first couple of days there. I'm sitting on the first floor just waiting to be spoken to about where I need to be. Or he comes to me, he's like, I heard about you. I said, oh yeah? He's like, this school's special. I said, yeah, I hear it is. A mother called me to come because you'd be perfect here, she says to me. And he says, what would you do to take this school to the countrysides where all the people actually need this type of, and to learn English, he said. I said, well, simple. Take me. I'm going to listen to him. That's it. He didn't understand that because he's more of the government official program to think we have the money. We can go in the communities and say English is important. We don't care about your vision yet. We just know that English is important. We'll keep that part right there. That was the vision. And we always have to go to their mother tongue first. What do you love? What do you want to create? This is true project based. And this is what Teacher Andy had shared with you when you came into this Web Talk Live, as you know. People are experiencing these lives and they're seeing a lot of teachers. So they're thinking it's just a group of teachers together with students. And that's the program. You're an educator, Anders. You're Teacher Anders to me. You're educating me as I see your content in Web Talk. And not many people understand that.
Yeah.
Anders.
I've planted some seeds in the
Oh,
heads
sure.
of
Yeah,
people.
yes.
And now we follow up and expand it and spread it and nurture it. A lot of exciting stuff going on. And as I say, I tell people here, when they ask me that they say, okay, a foreigner, why are you here in the Philippines? Yeah, I love it. I feel more welcome here than anywhere I ever been. And I want to give back to the society here, help people earn money from anywhere so that some of them can even move back because, as you know, several are working year after year abroad just to be able to send money to their families and relatives. And they can never go back here because they're just working in other countries. What if they can work on web talk instead? And after a while, okay, now I go back, take care of my parents or whoever. That's beautiful. Overseas Filipino workers. That's huge. And it's good for their economy here because they bring in foreign capital. So that's a challenge. And when it comes to learning English, they're quite good here. But I'd rather help someone learn English if they want to use it to support their local community here instead of moving abroad and just sending some money.
Yeah.
So that's a part of the listening.
That's one of the beautiful facts that the Filipinos share, especially in Thailand. I've met so many over the 13 years. They love their family. They've traveled outside their country. Why? Because money, jobs aren't there. Their English is awesome. So they go to other countries, make a little bit more, higher salary than they possibly get in their country. The one other fact, they extremely miss. They don't want to be a part of, away from their family. They sacrifice.
Yeah, that's big. I mean, even I have my girlfriend here. I don't want to go away for a month to work in Sweden. I don't want to be here. And if you have your own kids here, which your parents take care of, and you're away from them while they grow up, wow, that's huge. They especially need the parents the first 3-4 years. I heard. I'm not an expert. Child psychology, level 1. Be with your parents when you're a toddler to lay the foundation for your life.
Yeah. And Anders, as you're talking, you have found it, you know, Web Talk's main girl, Terry, up in Maine, as you know, see all her posts and educating the Web Talk family about that beautiful state. She's listening right now to this live in the app.
Oh, so she has an iPhone. Wonderful. Terrific, Terry. Wow.
You know.
Wow.
Yeah.
I'm so jealous.
It's driving.
Ah, hey, Web Talk's main girl, teacher Andy just said he's so jealous right now that you're in the app listening. He's driving home as quick as he can. There's no traffic right now.
Yeah, I mean, just as I was talking about earlier, I thought, okay, if I can liberate people who really want to get out of the rat race first, are motivated and eager to escape this box. That's the easy, but now people have to because they lose their jobs. And now they're like totally in shock. What can I do now? And there are so many options. And people should learn how to do due diligence before they invest their last money in some scheme. It's very hard. You know, I know people are very good at due diligence to get scammed in business opportunities. Of course, people are being taken advantage of because they're desperate. So as marketers say, people should know, like, and trust you, and then you can consider offering some kind of business or opportunity. So if they know, like, and trust us because we're on Web Talk Live and we don't even ask them for money, it's even better.
Yeah. And Anders, you talk about that, not even having to ask for money, and all of a sudden now, what's the program of apps? Oh, I can see a notification
Oh,
in
wow.
Web Talk.
I got to
So
check.
how am I going to support that web talker that doesn't ask for money? I'm going to go in my app and I'm going to go communicate and possibly join a web talk live and share my vision when I'm ready. Anders, uh, thank you for testing out the StreamYard system, and Coach Nalutza, uh, as you know as well, she pushes her, world all the time. Um, and not many people were aware what she was using. And when they would come into these Web Talk Lives and they would share the idea, I want to do a Web Talk Live, I got this to do. And I said, well, create it. There's many ways. I don't have an upgrade in Zoom. Da, da, da. Look at the web talkers that are creating the Web Talk Lives. There's a challenge without giving them the answer. We've shown different ways out of Zoom and upgrading for a year. And that's the challenge that I bring to this world. We're going to challenge them every second
Yeah.
in this 24 hours.
As they say, you can lead a horse to the water, but you can't make it drink.
That, for the true project-based teacher, I've stated it many times, is another program that's incorrect.
Oh.
That's another one.
Yeah. So it's our duty to reprogram that.
Yes.
Drink this water. Because you see, I drank the water and I'm doing fine now. Like with your health, wellness, and detox. If they see that, okay, he's making money, he's well, he's thriving, he's got a community here, okay, maybe I should try it.
Yes.
And people also say in the program, the grass isn't always greener on the other side. But I'm curious, so I go there and I check, okay, it's not green, but here is RJ pulling weeds, full bots. And there's not a lot of people here. We can make it an awesome field here with plants and grapes and coconut trees and whatever we like. Because not many people have crossed to the other side.
Yeah. Mm. Yes. Well,
I like also what teacher Andy said. Like, teachers are not entrepreneurs. But he's the entrepreneurial teacher. He's been trying out stuff, got burned, going back, learning,
yes.
failing forward.
Yes. The COVID kits that teacher Andy represents, it's a beautiful way also to communicate with people around the world with their situation of COVID. And then it's also, doctors, medical professionals, businesses are shutting down. So these kits administered by a medical professional in your country, you can begin a business as well. To what? Get revenue back for your home, for your household, and also begin a protocol of your community. If that's what the community wants, to be tested, to know antibody, did they have it before? Do you want to know if you have it now? He has those high level quality tests. And it comes on the facts of people are losing their jobs, and all of a sudden now he's part of a company that says, you know what? We're going to give you this opportunity. You might not be a representative, for a decade. Here's an opportunity. And what have you seen, Anders? You have seen web talkers like Teacher Andy and Marie and Mr. Manny and Teacher Chris educate themselves on these tests. What are they all about? And again, as we state a lot, there's a lot of distrust in the world. People don't trust each other. So if you don't believe in COVID, that it's not real, wonderful, absolutely wonderful. Well, how are you going to stop it then? What type of world are you going to create? Well, that's being shown, and it's going to go very quickly. I just have to be patient, just like Dr. Robert Morse is extremely patient. This is a generational evolution of ripping out a program of what the human species truly is. That said, if you think it's not real, then let's have a discussion about these tests, what they can actually do for a majority that are living in it. Shut down. What can we do to continue to create? Because it's not getting back to normal. That and the new normal. There it is, a program. And what was your phrase? What was your statement?
About the new normal. Let's make the new normal the new extraordinary together.
There.
Yeah.
Yes.
And I wanted to do that even before the pandemic. Because I realized decades ago that this programming, deferred lifestyle, rat race. And as an example, they're kids, they're curious, they learn, they think it's fun, and they create. And they have visions, they can do whatever they like when they grow up, and then they get held back whilst they grow up. Now, be serious, be reasonable. No. Don't get too high expectations from life. You'll be disappointed. Be short, be safe, get a steady job. What? Steady job? Doesn't help if you have a contract, if your boss has to shut down. My brother is one of the few persons about my age who has had a steady job his entire career. That's an exception. 24 years or so, full time, but he likes it, so that's fine. He earns a bit more than he needs. So it doesn't have to escape. But if it's 80%, we'll consider something else. That's huge.
Yes.
And now we have those who cannot even go there because they just try to survive. But wow, if I get a job, I survive. That's huge also. And with the app, it will be easier to reach those people who don't have computers or offices or homes or generators with fuel.
Yes.
And then there will be the satellites that would cover the entire planet with fast internet. There may be risks involved, but also opportunities. We're not here. We will not be able to stop it even if we wanted to. Well, it's big business, of course. Fast internet for everyone instead of quite fast for half of us.
Right.
And if it's hard to go live in Florida, and of course it's hard to go live in the Philippines. But it's happening.
I misstated something with Ranye, I can't. I have to get him back, and teacher Andy says it correctly. And I thought that he slowed it down. He actually speeds it up, so he goes through the lives quicker.
In YouTube, you can choose speed, playback speed, up to double.
Okay.
So that's an option.
Mm.
Or slow if you're learning English, I guess. But maybe it sounds weird. I'm talking like this to teacher Tim now. Maybe it's a way to learn English faster.
So what do you actually do then? Express it now to
Yes.
save.
Even if you watch in YouTube or if you watch here in the web talk, which I hope you do, you can go down to YouTube, the lower menu there, and you see the cog like this, and click it, and normally it says auto. Depending on your internet connection, it can be maybe 720p if it's fast, because I think that's what Zoom is allowing. Maybe 1080 with a professional, but that's too. It requires too much power for that. I normally, when I listen to lives like this, I switch to 144, the lowest quality. And then teacher Tim looks like a bunch of squares, but I hear him.
Oh.
And when he says, I'm gonna go back to my web talk here and show some comments, then I switch to 360 or 480, maybe make it full screen. So I see the comments when he's reading them. But if I watch this live in the evening when my internet is really bad, okay, maybe I listen, and I wrote a comment once. Good that you read it. Did you say it out loud what you're reading? Because many people will not be able to read on the screen. That's a good teacher. Kudos. Or they don't know how to switch. And sometimes I notice, oh shit, it's playing in auto 480. I lose gigabytes here. I switch it down. Very simple. So we have the speed and the resolution in YouTube. And they can have up to 8K there, but that's totally overkill. Yeah, it's some tech thing.
Right.
Bringing the world together, creating more success. Technology first day. It's still first thing in America, yes. And it's not anymore in Europe.
Yeah.
I have my list, and I've been making posts about solar cooking, waste management, 3D printing, virtual reality, augmented reality, film gear, noise cancelling headsets. That was one thing I wanted. I see you have a cordless, it's very convenient. You can walk around, listen to others on lives, muted or unmuted, perfect. And I have a lot of ideas about building stuff, repurposing, like this.
Oh, yes.
Broken down. My neighbors threw it away. I put my light here in the morning to just look a bit better. $0. It's flickering. Let's put it there. And I will make a laptop stand out of it as well. Just bolt something on that. And a microphone stand. Now I don't have a microphone. I hope the audio is okay with here in the screen.
Yeah.
Just 2 small holes.
Yeah.
So many life hacks to share. That would be a part of my content. How to save up to 100% on almost anything. Some of you are familiar with Robert Kiyosaki. He says only lazy people use their own money. I think that's thinking outside of the box, the programming. What do you mean? Of course I use my own money. I earn them and I use them. The rich, they don't use their own money. They get investors to pay, and then they earn money and pay back with interest, and then they scale, like in real estate. And they learn how to do it. And here we use the advertisers' money, half of it. That's beautiful. You don't have to learn how to invest to get money to finance whatever or it's a passion.
Hey, Anders, as you talk about advertising, we'll take us on adventures with Web Talk, and then you have Kenya Ranye Ross just commented right now. Is having Web Talk open on 3 different devices considered an addiction? That's
Oh,
stinking great.
I hope it's not a breach of terms. Violating terms. No. Maybe you have the same IP address, I don't know. But it's a way to develop a platform, use it properly. I see it as a toolbox. Really. And it will grow. Now we have a little.
Yes.
And it's sharing stuff. Like, how can I attach a file in TalkMail? Yeah, just give them a link to your cloud storage. So they just download the file. Yeah. But people also use the messengers. Oh.
Yeah.
So easy.
This app, iOS, takes Web Talk now to the next level. And more users, we know countries are going to come in and use it. And then, as you just shared, the advertising becomes even more, and we just have fun, continue to have fun communicating with each other.
Yeah.
So Anders, I'm actually going to head out of here just for a little bit and just get my wife ready, and then I'll go to school. Today's my day to go into school, and I'll go Web Talk live around 9 o'clock my time in the morning, 10 o'clock your time. And I want to thank you for taking the time to communicate with Teacher Andy and coming here live, and all the beautiful time you spend in Web Talk with listening and creating your content. And you have a community that stands with you, as you know.
Yeah, that's awesome. I just read about IG in the beginning. I didn't really grasp what it was until I saw the lives. It's the highest level of teaching, learning, understanding, raising awareness. Okay, now I get it. Instead of just reading posts and see the tags.
Yeah.
Okay, travel, that's cool. Fine. Oh, English, that's cool. And now, wow, the world is opening up here. We expand this. And now also with the app. Wow, exciting times. I'm glad that I'm here now. As I said in the beginning, everything I've done this far in my life, all the experiences and contacts and experiments, it has led up to this very moment. I think this is the start of the rest of our lives.
Yes, it
as
is.
every day is.
Yes.
If we get to live.
Yeah. So Anders, TGIF, to give in full. We're also gonna rip that program of the 20th century out of the human mind. Yeah, there's a couple countries that use it still,
Yeah, and go be you always. And I think now you should go be a husband.
Yeah, thank you, Anders, for that. Thank you. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, it's a pleasure to be that. Anders, we'll communicate in a couple hours when I go Web Talk Live. I'm sure at some point we'll see you pop in there with a comment if you're doing something, and we look forward to more. You'll come in again. We'll create. We'll let you know. I'll wake up early again. Is zero problem to that
Yeah,
for your
that's great.
Wi-Fi and stuff. And
Yeah, this time was perfect.
thank you, Anders. Yeah, very good.
The
Okay.
sun. Tropical sun. I'll take a walk.
Very good. And
No
so,
no lockdown today. So I'll take a walk 2-3 hours later.
wonderful. Yes. So to the Web Talk family, great news today, January 8th, 2020, over in Asia. On the other side of the world, America, that other side that Anders is showing, it's still January 7th, 2021. The iOS app is out for Web Talk. And thank you for your patience. RJ, keep creating. You also have a community that stands with you. It's called the Web Talk family. You have Anders now who, everything you shared, RJ, on these Web Talk lives, it's much more than teachers just teaching English, as you know. We're here for the whole. And with that said, Anders, I'm going to stop the YouTube live and Web